Hey 8th graders, today's assignment is the atomic structure worksheet, and your learning targets are I can describe the structure of an atom and I can identify the atomic number and the mass number of an element. So really we're going to be working off of the same little notes that we did yesterday. If you guys haven't done the atomic structure notes from yesterday, you guys need to go do that first, as this will help you out a lot and you will be using your notes for one part of this. Okay, so this activity has 4 parts. First part, you guys will be using this video right here to help you answer the next 8 questions. Okay, these are stuff that should be kind of a review for you anyway. You guys will follow this link. Let's get past the stupid ad. And you guys will watch this little video on atoms. Okay, as you guys watch it, you guys will answer these 8 questions. What is an atom? What is the most common element in the universe? What do you call the center of an atom? What is the nucleus made from? What is the charge of protons, charge of neutrons, and charge of electrons? And what are the energy levels that house the electrons called? So you guys should be able to get that all from this short little video. It's about 4 minutes long. Okay? Alright, moving on to part 2. You guys will need this online periodic table, so you guys can right click and open that link up. This should be familiar for you guys from the escape room from yesterday. So you guys are going to use the notes I provided you guys yesterday and also the periodic table to help you guys. Okay, so what is an atom? Again, this is review. I'm going to ask you guys that question a lot. What would you expect would you expect 2 electrons to attract or repel each other? You guys got to think about what the charge of an electron is. Think about what we've learned so far about like static electricity, magnetism, those kinds of things, and these attractive or repulsive forces. Okay, what 2 subatomic particles are found in the nucleus? Again, that should be repeat or review for you. What is the charge, positive or negative, of the nucleus of every atom? So you guys need to stop and think about what you find in the nucleus, what their charges are, and what would that overall do to the charge of the nucleus. Okay, next one, an atom of hydrogen has 1 proton, 1 neutron, and 1 electron. What is the overall charge of the atom? So again, if it has 1 proton, 1 neutron, and 1 electron, think of the charges. You guys could almost do this like a math problem where you guys have positive numbers and negative numbers and you add them up. What would your guys' charge be? And then what does the atomic number of each atom represent? Again, that's directly from your notes. Okay, then you guys will need the periodic table to help you guys with these. How many protons are in the following atoms? You have phosphorus, molybdenum, aluminum, cadmium, chromium, and lead. And what is one difference between the mass number and the atomic number? Okay, remember that the mass number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons. What is the mass number of the following elements? So these are the same elements you just looked up. So apply what you guys learned on the last slide to this slide and look at this little equation that I gave you in the question. Okay, and then finally for part 2, you guys have this data table to fill out where you guys have the atomic number as your first column, mass number, number of protons, neutrons, electrons, and then the symbol of the element. So I'm going to do this first one with you guys. So the atomic number is 9. I would look up my periodic table and find out that we're talking about fluorine here. So I would say, all right, symbol of the element is Fl. Okay, make sure your first letter is capitalized. If there's 2 letters, the second one's lowercase. Or excuse me, it's just F. I don't know why I did that. Just capital F. Number of electrons, it looks like it has 9 protons, 9 neutrons, so it also has 9 electrons. And then the mass number, remember the mass number is the number of protons plus the number of neutrons, so you guys would have 18 for that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, delete the information I just added in for you guys. So you guys will use what's given to you guys. For instance, this one tells you the number of protons. You guys should be able to find the atomic number from that. Also the neutrons. If you know the atomic number, you can know the symbol, and then you guys can do the math to figure out the mass number. Okay, so complete that table. Part 3, you need the online periodic table, so you guys have a fun little scavenger hunt. You guys can use Google if you would like, or some of these you might just have to look up on the periodic table. So the periodic table scavenger hunt, find me the element that. So is the only metal in the liquid phase. So if you guys know this, great. If not, Google it. And then you guys can tell me what the element's name is, what its symbol is, and what its atomic number is. Okay, is the smallest atomic element? Is a metal that has a low enough melting point that it will melt in your hand, not in your mouth. Okay. Is a popular gas that is less dense than air and will float. Is the most abundant element on Earth. Is the rarest element on Earth. Has 26 protons, neutrons, and electrons. Is extremely reactive with water. There's a couple, so you guys can choose one. Has the Latin name Argentum, which was named after the country Argentina. So remember, that's where we get a lot of our names of our elements, and that's why some of their symbols are different than their actual words. For instance, wolfram is W, and that's actually tungsten. So we call it tungsten, but the symbol for that is W based on its Latin root word wolfram. Okay, has a mass number of 22, is the first element with a mass number greater than 100, and then is the element named after the founder of the periodic table of elements. So you guys have some exploring to do there. And then finally on part 4, you guys have these 1, 2, 3, 4 videos to watch. So noble gases, it's an old video, but it's really cool because it shows you guys all the noble gases and balloons and how they would interact. Like for instance, if you guys have a helium balloon, what does it do? So you guys will be able to look at a helium balloon plus all the other noble gases like neon, xenon, krypton, stuff like that. Fun with gas, this is a Mythbusters guy who looks at sulfur hexafluoride versus helium. Ship floating on nothing, again, we're looking at sulfur hexafluoride that is dumped basically into a fish tank. And you guys will see a boat made out of aluminum foil that floats on top of that, and it's really cool. It trips kids out, I think, a lot. And then finally, alkali metals reacting with water. This is a fun one as well. And then finally, if you really want to, you don't have to, you guys can watch Daniel Radcliffe sing the Elements song. It's pretty awesome. And that's it for you guys' assignment today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.